Hi there, ML. This is Michael. Thank you for sending me your integrated speaking practice test. I have the rubrics right here. I am getting ready to listen to it. So I think you're doing integrated speaking task number 3, right? So let's listen to the whole thing one time, and then the second time I'm going to give you my estimated score and I'll provide you some feedback so you can monitor your progress. Okay, here we go.
The reading passage is about evolution in action, which is when organisms adapt, develop in response to environmental changes.
Okay?
Professor in the lecture talks about a research took place in Hawaii Island on small male insects named cricket. These insects create unwanted sound by rubbing their wings to attract female insects.
Okay.
Once a dangerous fly entered this island and used cricket sound to locate them. They deposited larvae inside this cricket body and which eventually killed them and completely eradicated them. But researchers found interesting things that cricket population came to normal level because only 10% of them created sound. This indicates that cricketers adapted to evolutionary change and clearly gives an example of evolution in action.
Wow, that is very interesting. My goodness, I've never heard of that before. The crickets evolving like that. Um, okay, so my first impression is I think the only thing I can think of right now is maybe some delivery issues. I'm going to put you at least 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30. Let's listen to it one more time.
The reading passage is about evolution in action, which is when organisms adapt, develop in response to environmental changes.
Okay.
Professor in the lecture talks about a research took place in Hawaii Island on small male insects named cricket. These insects
So the professor talks about an example, you might say, to illustrate how evolution evolves even in real time or something. So maybe when you move to the information in the lecture, kind of make that explicit connection in the beginning so we know how that lecture relates to the definition already given in the reading passage. One other suggestion is maybe if you start the response out with more an introduction that explains the reading and the listening, you might say the reading defines the concept of evolutionary change, and then the speaker in the lecture gives an example to illustrate it more. If you do something like that, then you're framing both sources, and then you can talk about the reading first, then talk about the listening second.
create unwanted sound by rubbing their wings to attract female insects.
Okay.
Once a dangerous fly entered this island and used cricket sound to locate them. They deposited larvae inside this cricket body.
You might say once they found their prey or once they discovered a cricket or found a cricket, they deposited their larvae inside of the cricket.
And which eventually killed them and completely eradicated them. But researchers found interesting things that cricket population came to normal level because
But you just said a minute ago that it completely eradicated the crickets, right? But then after that, you're saying that the crickets they decreased to a more normal level. So it's a little bit confusing how you said that.
only 10% of them created sound. This indicates that cricketers adapted to evolutionary change and clearly gives an example of evolution in action.
Okay. Clearly supports the idea of evolutionary change mentioned by the author in the reading passage. So you need to make the connections between the reading and the lecture a little bit more explicit. I think that would be effective. That would help. And you had one statement in there that didn't quite resolve itself with the other statement. You said it completely eradicated them, but then you said that the crickets adapted, only 10% were actually making the sound. So which is it? Did it completely wipe out the crickets, or did it destroy some of the cricket population on that island? Okay? So I'm going to put you at about 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30. So maybe some minor topic development issues. And then from the delivery standpoint, you're working very hard on this. You're getting more intelligible as you practice, but still, I think you can work more on your intonation. So try to vary your tone a little bit more than you are in this practice test. So you can go to pronunciation lessons 36 through 40 to learn more about intonation patterns of American English. And thank you for doing this practice test.